With everything going on right now, the anniversary event and the name of tomorrow, and what we have coming down the road with the Black Friday event, then the Snowflake event at the end of the year, there are plenty of opportunities in the future for you to acquire some premium ships. So in today's video, we are going over my top 5 must-have premium ships. Meaning that these are premium ships that you can get here in the near future. I would highly encourage you to do so, thanks to, of course, all the events happening in the, well, now and in the coming months. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get on into it. Before we do, though, if you do find this video helpful, informational, or entertaining, just ask that you go down below and drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you feel oh so generous, especially if you like these type of informative videos, because that is what helps out the YouTube algorithm these days. So I would really greatly appreciate if you wouldn't mind dropping a like and leaving a comment at least. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on into it with number 5, the Tier 10 German battleship, the Mecklenburg. The Mecklenburg is simply one of the best premium German ships in game. Who knew giving a battleship a bunch of gear guns was the secret to success for the Germans? And I'll tell you what I really like about the Mecklenburg, especially with, you know, all the kinds of ships that we have in the game today. So Mecklenburg is a great premium for a couple of reasons. The biggest one for me is that, well, it's a ship that you can run a multiple amount of builds on, because Mecklenburg can be a great main battery focused battleship if you put everything, you know, all the modules and such into building out the main battery guns. You know, these 16 305mm guns, they slap. Sure, Mecklenburg does not have the largest guns at Tier 10, quite small by Tier 10 battleship standards, but, you know, 16 305mm guns, that's like having 2 Agirs blast your broadside at the same time. And unlike the Agirs guns, the Mecklenburg's guns are definitely accurate enough to hurt. So you can do that, you know, go full tank build, and with the fact that, you know, the Mecklenburg is an FDG hull, which is a really well-armored battleship, full tank, main battery gun build Mecklenburg can be an absolute terror. Or you can flip it around and run a secondary Mecklenburg, because, sure enough, she still has those good old German secondary guns. She has 24 of the 128mm guns, which are the good ones, and the ones you definitely do want to have at Tier 10, because those bad boys can pen 32mm of armor. And if you go for a full secondary build, like I'm doing in the background match for this, here in the closing days of the current Brawl season, yeah, it's still really freaking potent. And guess what? When you're in secondary range, the main battery guns are still more than accurate enough to do what they need to do. Oh, and you get torpedoes on top of that as well. So she's an excellent brawler if you go for a full secondary build, brawler build with your Mecklenburg. At the same time, too, you can go kind of in between and, you know, have a nice mix of those two builds, and it will work with the Mecklenburg. So it's just such a good premium ship, and so many ships nowadays come out, and it's just like, well, yeah, you gotta kind of run this one build on this ship to really get it to work, and that's the best way it's played. But the Mecklenburg, there's, you know, a couple of ways that you can play it, like I've talked about here on this video, that it will most definitely work. She is a steel ship, though, so you do have to cough up 31,000 steel to acquire her. But of course, with the 10th anniversary event going on right now, you can get that steel. Of course, too, with like the dockyard and, you know, whatever else is going on in game, I would highly encourage you to, you know, acquire all that steel and get a Mecklenburg with it. So she's, you know, simply not only one of the best premium ships in the game, she's one of the best premium ships in game, and again, in my opinion, one of the, like, definitely like top 2 best German premium ship in game. Highly worth the still, in my opinion. All right, going our way down now to number 4, we have the Tier 9 premium American cruiser, the Alaska. We were talking about this guy not that long ago. The Alaska is a ship that I, you know, well, like I just said, it was not that long ago we were talking about the Alaska in another top 5 video, because it's that good. I mean, Alaska is just such a great Tier 9 premium ship. Now you might be thinking, well, Sealord, Alaska's not available. No, you're right. It's not available right now, but she should be returning in the upcoming Black Friday event. The way this event has worked for the last, well, However, is that Wargaming releases black versions of premium ships that already exist in game for you to acquire and collect. They work exactly the same as the standard ship. They just have a neat black camo on top of it, well, normal self. So the Alaska is a Black Friday ship, and she should be returning with the Black Friday event this year, and I would highly encourage you to drop the money to buy her. This is a ship that I do outright just say buy it. You know, many a ship in game, there are free ways to get that ship, and that's the way I would encourage you to get it. Unfortunately, with the Alaska, you don't have that option here, but she's worth every single penny, in my humble opinion. You get 9 of the 305mm guns with the good old American AP. You get a pretty darn tanky hull for what is not a battle cruiser, according to the U.S. Navy, though it fits the description of one, right? So you get a really tough hull at tier 9, and you get radar, you get a bunch of American goodies, hydro, all in one ship. It's a tough ship. She has those hard-hitting 305mm guns. She can very often punch above her weight class. Like, it can, and it will hurt pretty much any battleship that shows it an inkling of side, thanks to that American AP. So it's a great ship, great for random battles, great for operations. There's probably a few of you that are probably working your way through the In the Name of Tomorrow operations using the Alaska right now while you're sitting and watching this video, wherever it is that you play World of Warships, because it is that good. I mean, I've seen a bunch of them in that operation. In those operations for that reason. So yeah, great in randoms, great in ranked, great in competitive. I mean, it's a tier 9 cruiser that's darn near as tanky as some of the tier 9 battleships, with radar, hydra, 305mm guns, a great amount of tank ability, and really accurate guns too. Unlike the Puerto Rico, her bigger cousin, the 9 guns of the Alaska are really accurate. Of course, when I play it, sometimes it seems it's not that case, but they are, at least on paper, right? But anyway, yeah, great tier 9 premium ship. Can't recommend it enough. Highly recommend you guys pick her up when she becomes available in Black Friday. All right, going away down now to number 3, we have the tier 10 American destroyer, the Laffey. So yeah, the Laffey's making an appearance here because she is the current dockyard ship, and it's still currently available to, work on the missions and such at the time of recording. And the Laffey is potentially a completely free dockyard ship right now. Why? Well, because you only need to buy a couple of phases in order to get the Laffey, right? Then you just work your way through the dockyard missions and claim her after you bought those couple of phases. And of course, right now, with the 10th anniversary event, you can get more than enough doubloons to buy those couple of phases that you need for the Laffey and just grind the rest of the ship out, which is what I would encourage you to do. Because the Laffey it's a great little destroyer. And I know some of you guys right now might be thinking, well, Sealord, I'm not a destroyer main. I don't really like destroyers that much. Well, buddy, you know what? I used to really only like battleships when I started playing World of Warships, and I only played battleships until one day I dipped my toes into the pool that is cruisers. I thought, okay, I'm really only going to play, the big cruisers that are almost like battleships. Then I got from, the large cruisers, almost battleship type ships like the Alaska and the Stalingrad and such. Then I got, into heavy cruisers like the Hindenburg, and then, there I kept just falling down to the smaller ships until I got to the destroyers, and here I am nowadays. Pretty big fan of destroyers, of gunboat destroyers at least, right? So what I'm saying is, Laffey's a really good tier 10 premium American destroyer, and you should definitely pick her up. You get, she's an L&M Sumner class destroyer, which is basically a gearing as far as the game is concerned, right? And you get a really neat burst fire, right? That is so good for dealing with, dueling destroyers and caps. And, that's how I and a lot of players play American destroyers. You go to the cap, you contest it, you fight over it like a rabid chihuahua, use your great American guns and good torpedoes to take that cap and hold it. And the Laffey's just, that, but to 11. Because you get that burst fire mode, you get the super heal to, kind of emphasize her history, of how much damage she took in real life. But, of course, in game, it's great for, absolutely bullying your way through a fight by just popping a super heal in the middle of a gunboat fight with another tier 10 gunboat, because you don't care, because you're going to get all that HP back, right? So it's a great ship for contesting caps, and again, if you're not a destroyer player right now, you might be in the future, and they don't usually put these dockyards back up after they go down. Of course, we have the Lucian B coming, and they did rerun the Puerto Rico dockyard, but that was kind of a fluke, so it'd be a shame for you to miss this excellent tier 10 premium ship while it's available right now. And plus, you get a bunch of other goodies with the dockyard too. It's not just the Laffey. There's other resources and such you can acquire in the dockyard, so it's well worth the grind, in my humble opinion. At the very least, I would just keep playing as you're playing right now, because there's a very good chance that most of you are pretty active right now with all the doubloons and still being given away, and just see where you're at when it comes time to decide on whether or not you do want to cough up some of those free doubloons to get the Laffey right. And if you're only a couple of phases out, I would definitely, strongly consider picking her up. But yeah, she's a great ship. Cannot sing her praises enough. All right, going away down now to number 2, we have the Tier 8 Premium American battleship, the Massachusetts. Now, once again, you might be saying, Sealord, Massachusetts isn't available. Well, you're not going to believe this. Just like the Alaska, the Massachusetts shall be returning with the Black Friday event, because she too is a Black Friday ship. And the Mass is an amazing Tier 8 premium battleship. She doesn't really care where she's at in matchmaking. The Massachusetts is going to do well. You get 9 of the American 406mm guns. They are of the 45 caliber instead of the 50 caliber, so the AP is still a little sluggish at range, but that doesn't matter because you're not going to be playing the Massachusetts at range anyway. You're going to be playing her from medium to close range, because the Massachusetts has amazing secondaries. Used to have much better secondaries back in the day. You used to have laser accurate secondaries, but of course Wargaming decided that was, well, too much, and that was, I guess, too much fun. So we have to have these less accurate, but still pretty darn good secondaries that we have in today's World of Warships on the American battleships. But yeah, you have these secondaries that are great for setting fires. Like, the way that the German secondaries really get their damage in, like I was talking about with the Mecklenburg, is usually through their improved penetration. Because, once you can pin, 32 millimeters of armor at tier 10, that's a pretty consistent damage stream that's coming in to your damage number. The way that Massachusetts does her damage is through setting fires, because her secondaries have good range, an excellent reload time, and a pretty good fire chance as long as you don't take IFHE. So you'll be setting fires on other battleships and on cruisers and such, and you'll be bullying destroyers pretty well with the secondaries. You can look at the background footage. I've been using the Massachusetts to get my way through the In the Name of Tomorrow operations, and as you can see, I'm just kind of wading through all these Tier 7 and below German destroyers and such, because, well, it's the Massachusetts. And the secondary guns, they're great, but like her main battery guns are really friggin' good. 16-inch American AP, oh yeah, it does magical things to other ships. You will absolutely be hurting if you eat a Massachusetts broadside. And yeah, the guns aren't all that accurate, but again, when you're playing from within your secondary range, it doesn't really matter. You're going to be eating a couple of 16-inch shells one way or another, usually, either in your side or in your superstructure, and it's going to suck for you. And the ship is also really tough, too. She is a South Dakota class battleship, which the way I usually describe, like, her and her sister, the Alabama, imagine a North Carolina, but less accurate guns, but tougher. That's Alabama. Massachusetts is, that with even less accurate guns, but great secondaries. That's Massachusetts. Now, no, yeah, North Carolina and the Alabama, Massachusetts are two separate classes. I understand that. I'm just talking from like a gameplay perspective. The Alabama and North Carolina are pretty similar in that regards. But anyway, yeah, so she's a tough ship. You get a quick cooldown on your heal and a pretty nice cooldown on your damage con as well. You get that nice long duration American damage con that runs for 20 plus seconds if you build into it. So for those 20 plus seconds, you won't be taking fires or flooding damage, and they can't be set on you in those 20 seconds either. And then you've got that nice American improved battleship heal to back it up with, again, a pretty nice cooldown time on that. So all in all, Massachusetts is great in literally anything that she's in. Random battles, awesome. Ranked, awesome. So many Tier 8 seasons I've been through with Massachusetts. Like, the ship is just I'm tired of, having to carry all these teams by myself. I'm going to take my Massachusetts out to make this a little bit easier. But yeah, if they ever do Tier 8 clan battles again, brawls, operations, you name it, Massachusetts can and will do it. Again, definitely worth the money when she comes out in this Black Friday event. All right, and number 1 belongs to, you're not going to believe this, another Black Friday ship, the Tier 9 French battleship, the Jean Bart. So the Jean Bart is, well, in the same boat with the Massachusetts and the Alaska. Great ship for its tier, amazing ship. But yet, it's locked in the Black Friday event. Because, well, Jean Bart was too popular back in the day. Which is wargaming speak for, it's too good, we gotta pull it. So, yes. Jean Bart is a Richelieu-class battleship. Which, of course, her sister is in the French battleship tech tree. So, if you play the Richelieu, you're pretty familiar with the Jean Bart. It's got the all turrets forward to the superstructure configuration with her main battery guns. And she has, well, basically, it's a more accurate Richelieu with a reload booster, slightly different secondary and AA configuration, and, yeah. Oh, and up tier to tier 9. So, you get better guns, better reload, you get the reload booster, but you're now up tier to tier 9 with the same armor as the Richelieu. So, yeah. It's pretty dang good. When those French 15-inch guns actually hit what they're aiming at, pretty dang potent. And then when you throw a reload booster on there to boot, where you can get some nice quick follow-up shots, that's even better. So her firepower is excellent. And yes, she does only have 15-inch guns at tier 9, and that is a bit of a downside, but I mean, hey, with the improved reload time too, you can just spam HE if you're in a situation where everything's just battle tanking your 15-inch AP, and they will regret it because you got that reload booster. So you spam HE, set a fire on a ship, they damage con it, you let them damage con, you let their damage con run, you smack that reload booster, you get two or three more salvos back on them pretty quick, and you probably set another 2 or 3 fires, and now they're really feeling the pain because they damage con that single fire. So she's great for situations like that. Great for pulling destroyers too with that reload booster going on those 15-inch shells. So yeah, I mean, this is a great ship all in all. I mean, the reload booster, it's great with HE or AP. Someone slips up, shows you broadside, you pump a couple rounds of AP into their broadside with the reload booster. You got the engine boost that can help you get around the map a little bit faster. I mean, because of the additional turrets and stuff from her secondary and AA gun, she is actually slower than the Richelieu, and the speed boost gets her going, I think, roughly the same speed as Richelieu with a speed flag before you pop the engine boost. So there's that, but again, the ship is awesome. The only downside is that it's a tier 9 with that French armor scheme, so you have 32 millimeters of armor absolutely freaking everywhere on the ship, so you will eat damage from every single direction, because everyone and their mom at tier 9 plus, they're trying to get past that 32 millimeter pin with their HE. So that's the only downside with the Jean Bart, but the firepower is definitely worth it. And if you've been making Richelieu work for these past couple of years, however long you've been playing the game, you could definitely make Jean Bart work. And again, one that I would highly recommend you put down the money for when she comes back for Black Friday in the next couple of months here. So guys, those are my top 5 must-have premium ships. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you replace in this list and all that good stuff? Hope you guys enjoy. Have a wonderful Monday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.